And welcome back, everyone, to Overtime. As we teased earlier, we have a special guest here joining us in studio here on the interview couch, and he is none other than Carlos Thompson Jr., former NFL standout, Greenville native, as well as a high school star over at Hollandale Simmons. But he's come back home to join us here on the interview couch and talk about his life story, how he made it to the NFL, and also to take us back down memory lane in terms of those seeds that were planted years ago to help propel him to higher heights in the NFL. Thanks so much, Carlos, for taking time out your busy schedule to join us here on Overtime.
No problem, Steve. I always have time for you.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, and Happy New Year to you as well.
Happy New Year to you
Looking
as well.
sharp, too, as
Thank
well,
you.
I might add.
It.
We'll start off, Carlos. What have you been up to? Because I know you have retired from the NFL a few years back, but tell me a little about what life has been like since you retired as an NFL player.
Well, right now, I have a transportation business that, I just started, and it's up and coming, but, just trying to, pay the way for myself to, practice entrepreneurship and, just to get better each year and take one step at a time each day, So I've been kind of doing that and trying to build that.
Okay, good deal. Well, I know, too, Carlos, we look back at start off with your NFL career, having played with the Houston Texans as a defensive end linebacker, hybrid type, as well as the LA Rams. What are some of your fond memories as an NFL pro?
Man, just being able to play with a lot of guys, well-known guys like J.J. Watts or, Aaron Donald or Cooper Kupp or, DeAndre Hopkins. I can go on forever and a day. Just to be able to play with a lot of guys that were even more talented than what I was, and to pull from them and learn from them, and just to be able to enjoy life in my early 20s and have fun with guys that was doing some of the things that I was doing,
And an amazing thing about your story, too, coming out of Ole Miss, didn't touch on that, but should also point out, Ole Miss Rebel here, but coming out of Ole Miss, not drafted, so you sign a free agent deal with the Houston Texans, and you make the 53-man roster. Tell me a little about what was that like to see, not only that you had to come out and really prove yourself to make the team, but to see that your name pop up. I don't know how they made a phone call to you or you had to go to the locker room and see your name on the list, but what was that like? Kind of take me back to that moment when you realized you had made the team, especially going through the free agent route.
Well, I'll start by saying and talking about, being an underdog, and for me, I feel like pretty much my entire football career, I always started out as an underdog, and throughout my college career, with the ups and downs and also, even transitioning to the NFL, and being able to, get a call from an NFL team as a free agent or as somebody that didn't get drafted, and to get that call and say, hey, we want you to come, and I always felt like, even walking into the doors with the Houston Texans, I still had something to prove because I didn't have the leeway or the extra space to make mistakes like everybody else did, that was drafted first or second round because I didn't have any money invested into me. So just to be able to go there and to prove myself, it was a great feeling, but it was a humble feeling because that wasn't the first time that I had to do it. And, and for me, I didn't have a luxurious career at Ole Miss, but, just being able to lock in and focus on what I need to do to build myself, that was everything for me to be able to prepare myself to make it to that level, and it was just me being an underdog and proving myself to people. That's kind of what pushed me to end up where I ended up, know.
Wow, so well said. That drive, where does that drive come from? Because I'm sure that drive is something that just didn't happen overnight. This is something that was embedded in you perhaps at a young age, but take me back to maybe that drive and how it got started in you.
Well, I'll say it started with my mom and my dad, And I say my mom, she's very competitive. My dad, is a very competitive person. So it always, they always raised us to, no matter what you do, you give your 100%. And and they embedded it into me and my sister. And just to be able to use that, and it helped me along the way, because no matter what you go through in life, it's somebody that might be better than you, might be stronger than you, but sometimes we tend to shy away from that. But I was always taught to be a competitor, no matter what, because an underdog wins sometimes,
Right.
And
I'll tell you what, Carlos, going to take our first break of this interview portion, but when we come back, we're going to go down memory lane, if you will, go back to the early stages here in Greenville and also in Hollandale, how those moments help shape and mold the person we see today. Carlos Thompson Jr. here joining us on Overtime. We'll be right back with much more.